All right, glad to join us again. In November 2017, President Muhammadu Buhari presented a budget of 8.6 trillion naira to the National Assembly for passage as the fiscal document for the year 2018.
Yes, indeed. Now, the presidency said it decided to start the budget approval process early for quick signage and implementation. Now, but almost 4 months into the year, the proposed 2018 budget is yet to be approved by the National Assembly, and the lawmakers have placed the blame for the delay at the doorsteps of ministries, departments and agencies who they say have refused to either submit details of their 2018 budget proposal or their amendments as requested by Senate committees.
But the Budget Office of the Federation and the Presidency have denied those allegations, while both arms of government are set for a face-off over the budget passage. Operators of the Nigerian Stock Exchange say the delay would negatively affect the capital market and the economy in general. With us in the studio is a public affairs analyst, Chris Ibe. Good morning to you and thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
All right, first off, was the December very early as being postulated by the presidency for presentation of a bill for the next year?
Nigerians were actually happy with the quick, and we saw it as the first of its kind for a very long time, to present the budget that early. And thinking that with the early presentation of the budget, we can start, as a nation, we'll start the implementation early as well, if the National Assembly eventually passed the budget. But it's been most unfortunate that we've not seen the budget pass. Government is all about responsibility, accepting responsibility. When you accept your responsibility, there is definitely you appraise yourself and know how you go about it in providing solution. But a situation where you have a government that run away from accepting responsibilities, it becomes an issue.
But one arm of government is accusing the other arm of slowing down the process of the budget passage. The legislature, at least the Senate, they are saying, look, we would have done this already, but the MDAs and their ministers and other officials just refuse to defend this budget.
I don't see why. The beauty of democracy is separation of power, the separation of powers. Yes, of course. That is the beauty. A situation whereby an arm of government oversees the other, trying to balance the equilibrium. It's a fact that the National Assembly is accusing the MDAs that they have not done what they are supposed to do. And
the DG Budget Office is saying no. Well, everything required in that budget was presented by Mr. President.
What I'm trying to say here is the DG Budget itself heads a department, heads an agency, that is the Budget Office.
Yes.
The Budget Office itself has a budget. I have been in Abuja. I have witnessed budget defense. It's not the first of its kind. We've seen a situation where ministers go and defend their budgets.
Okay, should we be asking maybe, well, not even maybe, that did the ministries even present their budgets to the Budget Office first off? Because you would wonder why the MDAs, heads of MDAs, especially the ministers, wouldn't want to go to the Assembly to defend the budgets.
It is not the responsibility of the Budget Office to defend the entire budget. Are you getting what I'm saying? What I'm saying here is...
I'm talking about them. I didn't say Budget Office.
No,
the ministries.
Yeah, I actually know they are of the same arm of government. They are executive, so they speak for themselves. So the fact here is, even if the ministries, agencies, and departments of government have submitted their budget to the Budget Office, it's still their responsibility to face the National Assembly. Are you getting what I'm saying?
So why aren't they doing that?
That is what we are here to understand.
And that was why I asked the question, that someone needs to tell Nigerians, first off, if those ministries and the departments and agencies designed their own budgets and presented it, submitted them to the budget office.
We should not go there, because for His Excellency, for the President to have presented that budget, it is a total sum.
A complete sum.
It's supposed to be a complete sum.
Yes, we assume that. So for the President to have gone to National Assembly and make that presentation, it shows that his budget office must have
done their
compiled the entire budget, because that is their responsibility.
So what is playing out here now when the senators say this is what's causing the delay?
Well, for me, I expected the MDA, even if it featured in the papers today, that the National Assembly urged MDAs to come and defend
it. Had been saying it since last year.
Good.
Yeah. The Assembly has been saying it.
I expected the executive, the presidency, to kind of charge or summon the MDA, the heads of MDAs, to actually show proof to Nigerians, because what we are talking about here is Nigerians. A situation whereby the budget is not passed, and the budget year of 2017 elapses. In the US, there will be a shutdown. But in Nigeria, I don't think whether... And
that is the issue really with Nigeria, because recall, the 2017 budget was passed in June, yes, mid-year. And of course, we know that what the state of the economy last year. And it's still under-implemented, really. So that is the issue that many people are talking about, the late passage of budget for the year and then under-implementation almost every year. And it seems that this might happen. We are already in March, and 2018 budget has not even been defended by all the ministries.
We are heading to... They just told us that we are out of recession, but though the evidence are not felt, beyond that, we are heading to a very hard time. 28th of December 2017, the Honorable Minister of Finance made us to understand that the 2017 budget was at 22% implementation.
Yes.
So she said we are expecting to have 50% implementation as at end of 2017 budget year. So you now see that you can imagine a country's budget that is not implemented at 50%.
And then we have the Economic Recovery and Growth Plan, which is premised on the 2018 budget, from 2017 to 2020.
The consolidation, they call it the consolidation, the budget of consolidation.
What's going to happen to that ERGP?
Is all the indicators regarding deliverables. I don't think there's every possibility that it will not be achieved. There is every possibility that it will not be achieved.
But then, have they even achieved the goal for it in the 2017 budget?
No, that is, when you want to get to Abeokuta, how do I put it? You want to get to Onitsha without passing through Asaba. If you are aiming that route, you want to get to Onitsha without passing through Asaba, and you're running the roads. You know that you must be I don't know, maybe a juju priest, the one that disappears. Are you get what I'm saying?
A magician.
Teleportation power. Teleportation power.
So when you don't have a defined plan, or you don't have a way
direction and how you want to get there,
it becomes an issue. Because this thing is not just on lip, just making statements.
Are we politicizing the budget? Whether it's 2018, 2017, down the line?
It has, at least to a large extent, we have reduced the budget. Not even the budget, the economy into politics. We have. Because if the responsibility of the finance minister is to make sure that this budget is implemented, make sure that funds are released, and these funds are not being released. And with all we've heard about the fight against corruption, everything, it's assumed that we've got more money.
Okay. Okay. Now,
so we shouldn't have any problems with funds coming from the generations from MPA, from customs, from recovered loot, from EFCC. I think the 8.612 trillion is almost closed up.
Okay, let's look at what she just asked about politicizing the whole budget passage process. But do you see it maybe because Nigerians are used to a particular system of budget passage? Subsequent governments, assemblies, legislature will somehow embed with the executive, and it would always be the ayes have it most usually, and that we never saw, or we didn't really see a very vibrant legislative body that was toe-to-toe with the executive. And this is happening right now. The National Assembly is saying that ministers must come and defend their budget before they pass it. Are you thinking in that direction, that maybe that is why this is happening, and it might not really be politics, but just doing the needful?
Well, I want to be very, very objective here, that the National Assembly, they has a duty to perform. Same for the executive. Whatever that goes behind is none of our business. Are you getting what I'm saying? Yes. Because nobody comes to tell you, it's off the camera, nobody comes to tell you the exact position of this. Let's not assume that the executive is held or is being stampeded.
That was why I asked the question.
That is why I said we should not assume that. Okay. I want a situation whereby the executive, the MDAs, will come out and tell Nigerians that, look at what we have done. Look at what we have done. I believe when Dr. Bright Okogu was there as the head of budget, he has a way of going to hosting budget presentations, open. When you go to Sheraton, go to Transcorp, if you have interest, you just walk to the sessions and listen. You see MDAs make presentations. I think we've not seen that in this present administration. Are you getting what I'm saying? Moreover, the squabbles, the misunderstandings, or whatever you can think of, is part of the system.
It's rubbing off on governance. It's rubbing off on the economy.
Yes, beyond rubbing off. Beyond rubbing off. Yes. It's part of the system. We need a superior argument here, superior logic here. If the executive feel they have superior logic, argument, they stand with National Assembly. Because it appears as if maybe National Assembly is pushing them to the wall and pushing them to the wall. They should come up with their own. Well,
Ben Akabweze, the DG Budget Office, seems to have stronger logic, to borrow your phrase there. Okay. Yeah, he's saying, look, Mr. President, in laying out the budget in November of 2017, has laid out all the details required by the National Assembly to process the budget. So this whole outcry about, you know, the MDAs, even the government-owned enterprises and all of that not cooperating is a total non-starter and more or less like a distraction.
I don't think Ben Akabweze can dictate for the National Assembly on how to carry out their assignments. I don't think so. Even if Mr. President presented the budget as a whole project, the National Assembly can decide, say, wow, let's just have like a random sampling.
Break it down.
Yes, let's just have something. Let's have, okay, you've said you've done this, you've done this, we've seen it. Let's just have one or two randomly.
Especially considering the fact that in the defense of the 2017 budget, that was when the whole concept of budget padding. Yes. We recall the Minister of Health, Isaac Adewale, you know, contradicted
distance himself from the figure.
That was
exactly.
Are you getting what I'm saying? So you now see that the National Assembly, to a large extent, is doing Nigeria good for them to say, hey, come. You know, when we're in school, in those days, once in a while, there are subjects that will, or courses that will pop up, and you know that you are not too strong in that area. You want to kind of hid yourself. You wouldn't want the teacher or the lecturer to point you at that particular time. You know you are not too strong. Yeah, when you take the, you know your weakness, your strengths, or you know all those stuff. You know, you want to be silent about it. So the way it is now is, the good Mr. Ben Akabeze, Pastor Ben Akabeze,
yes,
we do to this nation is to allow the ministers, the DGs, executive secretaries, to actually face these appropriation committees and explain. My people will say that he who carries nothing, fears nothing, breaks nothing. That is, you are not carrying any, as far as you're not carrying anything, any jug. You know, this, it came from in those olden days, where people normally carry their calabash to the stream. So they will say that if you are not carrying a calabash, you aren't breaking
so if you have anything. If you have no skeleton in your cupboard.
If you have no skeleton in your cupboard.
Or if you're confident that there has been thoroughness in terms of coming up with the figures.
Of course.
Anyway, at the end, you know, in the first place.
Okay, now one of the lawmakers then, when the president presented the budget, and they were having a public hearing on it, complained that the 2017 budget, just as we spoke earlier, had not been fully implemented. And so would you say that there should be some sort of harmonization of the 2017 budget with that of the 2018, which is supposed to be a consolidation to build on the gains of the 2017 budget, which is yet to be fully implemented?
When you say harmonization, I don't see harmonization.
You know why I'm saying that? Because you have projects that were earmarked to be carried out in 2017, and they've not been carried out because you have not. So, and then you're looking ahead to 2018. What happens to those if the money is not released?
It's a dicey situation. It's a dicey situation. Taking it from trying to, the issue, what I expect is for them to actually appraise, National Assembly to first appraise the 2017 budget, which to a large extent they have also complained. Even the minister accepted.
Yeah,
all right,
30%.
Yes, because of time we have to stop it. The director is saying we just have to stop it there. My apologies, and thank you, of course, for your analysis.
Thank you very much.
Chris Ibek, thank you for coming.
Thank you very much.